Welcome to Carol's Courageous Conversations podcast, the place where we talk about leadership, purpose, resilience, courage, and the bold moves that make a difference in our communities. Hosted by Carol Young, founder and CEO of Be Bold Institute, this podcast inspires you to face fear, lead with purpose, and move forward with courage, even when it's hard. Here, we believe that boldness isn't the absence of fear, it's the courage to move forward in spite of it. Each week, Carol sits down with community leaders, entrepreneurs, and everyday changemakers, like Commissioner Monique Sheffield, to uncover the stories, faith, and resilience behind real leadership. Believe. Empower, build, own, lead, develop. Because courage starts with conversation. You grow, I grow, we grow together. Hey everyone, welcome back to Carol's Courageous Conversations podcast. I'm your host, Carol Young, founder and CEO of Be Bold Institute. If you caught our last episode, part 2 of our exclusive 3-part conversation with Commissioner Monique Sheffield, Cobb County Commissioner for District 4, you remember how we wrapped up the Chick-fil-A story? In episode 1, Commissioner Sheffield left us on a cliffhanger about whether the drive-thru would be approved. And in episode 2, she revealed that it was approved, even though the property wasn't originally zoned for it. And speaking of that, I've added a few pictures of the brand new Chick-fil-A on Veterans Memorial that just opened yesterday, including one of me with my family and the owner-operator, Landon Bentley. We're so excited it's finally here, and yes, we'll definitely be frequenting it often. Now today, we're picking up right where we left off in episode 2, talking about volunteering and how citizens can get involved in their local communities and local government. Commissioner Sheffield had just started explaining how residents can actually be appointed to serve on county and municipal boards. So let's jump back into that conversation, and then we'll get a little personal to learn what Commissioner Sheffield enjoys outside of public service.
Also, Cobb 101. It's a free class that we offer at the county. I actually took that class before I ran for office back in 2018, 2019. What I really enjoyed about the class, and you took the class too, right?
I did. It was lovely and so much information.
Yeah, it's a lot of information because you have an opportunity to spend time with each department, right? And you learn a little bit of the inner workings of Cobb County.
That's right.
And it's just taking a little time, so it may answer some questions for you, change your perspective on some things. So that engagement is very powerful. And on the public safety side of it, Cobb County Police, as well as the Sheriff's Office, have a Police Citizens Academy. So with the Police Citizens Academy, I think I did that in 2018. It's like a 10 or 11 week course where you spend time with public safety officials.
Okay.
Right? So it's fire, it's police, it's EMS, so you can learn about the public safety side of Cobb County, and the sheriff is doing something similar.
Awesome.
So there are ways to get engaged. And of course, volunteer. I have an annual community cleanup where we address and tackle litter, and that's going very, very well. And we've actually expanded that service to include seniors, because we have seniors that receive code enforcement violations, limited funds. We don't want to continue to fine them, right? So what we're going to do actually in November is we're going to have a fall cleanup, which we're going to start doing every year, and just rake the leaves of homes of some seniors. Rake leaves and just kind of beautify the front of their homes in time for Thanksgiving.
Awesome. You also have a holiday.
Yep.
That we volunteered, my
yes,
daughter and
thank
I.
you so much.
Yes.
Yes. Your whole family came out. You're awesome with volunteering, Carol.
Thank
You're
you.
always volunteering for stuff. I
Thank
get there and it's like, Carol's there. I'm like, Carol.
But you
So
do a
thank
lot.
you. Thank you for that. Yeah, but last year was the first year. Yep, we had a Thanksgiving giveaway. So that was really fun, and I plan to do it again this year.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I just want to go back to talk about getting involved in civic engagement.
Mhm.
So also community task force, and we talk about local politics, local government, and it really impacts our daily lives.
Mhm.
I'm a board member of the also community task force for economic development, their economic development chair, as well as MIC for Middleton Improvement Coalition. MIC is for short, for education, on their education committee. But recently, something that was near and dear that hit home was an applicant wanted to build. My son is a sixth grader at Lindley, his first year in middle school at Lindley, and they wanted to build a motel right beside Lindley Middle School with all of those babies. So local politics, we wrote letters, we spoke at the city council meeting, just making our voice heard. So thank you for that, for letting us know that our local politics, our local government does affect our daily lives.
Yeah, it does, and I'm very familiar with that application because that came before me a couple of years ago, and so it was a zoning application that was submitted, but based on the application, it seemed like it would have been more of an efficiency location. I just didn't think it was a good fit. So I did a little bit more research and met with the zoning manager. And it was just some things there like the manager would have lived on site. It was just things that led me to believe that it was going to be an efficiency hotel. And I'm not saying that anything is wrong with that, obviously, because it helps with our housing inventory and shortage, but that the location just wasn't the most appropriate. So at that time, that must have been about 2.5 years ago. It's been a while.
Okay.
It's been a while. So the applicant withdrew that application and now they've resubmitted, it sounds like, in Mableton.
So I've learned so much watching the Board of Commissioners YouTube video, especially about zoning. Like you have to be 600, from a daycare, 600 feet. If you're a liquor store, and like all of these parameters, like you really need to know our city ordinances and laws. But you can find it by watching the YouTube video of Cobb County. So much information there. Yeah. So, Commissioner Sheffield, let's talk about personal. Let's get a little personal.
Okay.
So, public service is demanding.
Yeah.
What inspired you to serve as a commissioner, and what keeps you motivated on those tough days?
Okay. What inspired me is purpose. And I just have to put it out there. And when you run for office, people often ask, why are you running? Why are you running? And in 2020 here, I was so embarrassed because I really didn't have an answer to give anybody. I'm like, I don't know why I'm running. Right. And honestly, I didn't. And it troubled me for a long time because most people are like, I'm running because of this. I'm running because of that. Or you have grievance politics is what I call. People are angry about, it's like being on an HOA board. You're angry about this one thing and and you run, and that's okay. That's okay if that one thing is important to you. But I've come to realize that I'm purposed to be here. I am purposed to be here, and it took me a long time to come to that realization. But if you knew anything about my first campaign, and when they say you don't want to see how the sausage is met, I clearly understand now what that phrase means, because it was a very difficult campaign the first go round, and I'm like, God brought me through that, and I'm not ashamed to say it. It was very, very challenging, and it's like, in my quiet time, God said, trust the process. Trust the process. And now in my second term, the message is trust the reason for the process. So my answer would be on purpose to be here. Everything has not been revealed to me as to what God will have me to do, but those things that he will have me to do are crystal clear. I'm not your typical politician. In fact, I don't like politics. at all. I don't like the games that people play in politics. I just don't. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm not a person that pursues power. That's just not who I am. I would only flirt with power if it means that I'm going to make your life better. If I can enhance your life, then that's when I will wield my power. That's when I will do it, if it helps my community.
Oh, I love that. Purpose really is what sustains us. And we talk a lot about purpose on our Carol's Courageous Conversations podcast. So it's just amazing
to have me back.
Yes, absolutely. So when you're not working, Commissioner Sheffield, and you work a lot, you're always working, but when you're not working for the, on county business, what do you enjoy doing for fun and relaxation with your family?
What I enjoy doing or what I actually do.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so what I enjoy doing is just having quiet time to myself.
I'm sure.
Just kind of being in my garden and working around the house, reading a favorite book, listening to a little classical music. I love doing those things. But what I actually do is very different. As you know, I'm a caregiver to my mom, and I've been caring for her for several years now. So all of whatever extra time I have is dedicated towards caring for my mother. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. It's always refreshing to hear the human side of leadership. And sometimes people forget that you're human. You're a person, and you have a life outside of Cobb County
I do.
Commissioner.
I do.
Well, you should have a life.
But I don't.
And Commissioner Sheffield, and finally, what's one fun fact that or little known detail about you that people in the community, they may be surprised to learn?
This is probably going to really shock you. But a fun fact is I wanted to be a Supreme Court judge.
Okay.
And that inspiration came from Michael on Good Times. If you remember. So for the younger generation, Good Times was this sitcom in the 70s that was focused on a family that lived in one of the most notorious public housing developments in Chicago, Cabrini Greens. And they were a great family. They just had financial struggles, and they just couldn't seem to kind of get things going. But the youngest character on that program wanted to be a Supreme Court judge because of the injustices that he saw around him. And at the time, growing up in Brooklyn, I'm like, I see injustices around me. I want to be a Supreme Court judge. And obviously that never happened. But as I reflect, what I came up with is what's inside of me is balancing fairness. And obviously, well, that's what we hope our judges are there to do, to hear all aspects and then make a sound decision. I'm doing that as commissioner.
Yeah.
I'm doing that as commissioner. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to be a Supreme Court judge.
Oh. Okay. Before we wrap up, let's go a little deeper into your journey.
Okay.
What are some of your biggest wins since being in office?
Okay. Some of my biggest wins we discussed at the top of the hour, and that was the medical center, bringing amenities to our community. My focus is on green space to put more focus on mental health. So those are the things that I've started conversations with some of our partners, with WellStar and some other organizations. So it's just kind of carrying those goals through my second term.
Awesome. Yeah. And I always want to give her kudos because she does so much. But last year, Be Bold Institute had a Be Bold Community Family Fun Day. And we had it at Wallace Park, and she and other elected officials, and it was just a great time. Parents, students, everybody came out for a free event. And she let us know that she redid all of the tennis courts in the back.
Yeah, Wallace Park. Yeah. And there are more improvements coming in Wallace Park, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have some artificial turf. Also, we're going to redo the pavilions and the concession stands.
Oh,
so,
yes, we frequent Wallace Park a lot.
Exactly.
Commissioner Sheffield, what
Yeah.
do you value most about serving? What continues to drive your passion for public service?
Serving. You know, the thing with serving is there are a lot of aspects in serving. And I read this quote once that says, if serving is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you. And you can't be afraid to roll up your sleeves, which I am not. If I ask my community to get out and pick up litter, I'm going to be out there picking up litter with them because that's who I am. But serving is who I am. And earlier when we talked about kids tapping into their gifts and just knowing what that one or two things were when you were growing up that you just did when nobody was looking, for me that was helping. You know, growing up, we used to go to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother had 17 kids, so we had a lot of cousins.
Okay.
And everybody used to rush outside, and I stayed behind to help my grandma clean up.
Aww.
So when I talk about intangible gifts, for me, that gift is helping. So it's not a stretch for me to serve because I'm a natural born servant and leader. Make no mistake.
Okay.
People believe because you serve, you cannot be a leader. But I look at through the other lens. I say, because you're a leader, right? Because you're a servant, you can also lead.
Be a leader, yes.
But you lead with compassion. You lead with compassion. So that would be the one thing for me.
Okay. You've done incredible work, Commissioner Sheffield.
Thank you.
But of course, every great leader faces challenges.
Yeah.
What have been some of your greatest challenges and how have they shaped your leadership?
Challenges while being in office or?
Yeah, while being a
Okay.
commissioner in office or personal, whatever you want to discuss.
I'll tell you, going back, and you know, I'm from Brooklyn, grew up in Brooklyn, born and raised in Brooklyn. And at 10 years old, my family had a fire. And we lost absolutely everything we had, with the exception of the clothes we had on when we left for Easter dinner to go to my grandma's house that day. So it was a journey from there because we were homeless for about 2 years. I'm not homeless on the street, but not having a home to call our own. And then from there, we ended up in public housing. At that point, my parents had separated, and my mom became a single parent like almost overnight. So that was a challenge in adapting to an environment that you were not accustomed to, you know, because I was always that kid, just leave me alone with my favorite book and I'm okay. Like, just leave me alone. And to grow up in an environment that was very, very different, and learning how to fit in and find your way at such a young age, it made things clear for me for challenges that people have with homelessness, because I've also dealt with that, so I understand what that means, and the challenges not just for the parents but also for the children, and not having that stable home environment. But what's interesting about your journey and where you end up, as we mentioned earlier, there's a lesson to be learned in everything. So it's like, how did you end up here as commissioner? It wasn't one single solitary thing. It wasn't just me getting elected. Being elected was the final step in that process, right? So the process, I would go back maybe to when I became a real estate broker. So you have a path, but then you have different paths to lead you. So the most direct path, I would say, is getting my real estate license. Now, I had no idea at the time that would lead me into public office, but here is how it happened. So I have my real estate broker's license, right? And whenever you're in real estate, for some reason, you just end up on the HOA board. I don't know how that works, but that's just how it works. So I was HOA president when I lived in Powder Springs, and then when I moved to Mableton, I was also HOA president. And you just become really engaged in the community, and you're very sensitive to the community because you sell real estate. And I used to attend Chairwoman or Commissioner Cupid's town halls all the time. And it's like, I'm not stalking you, Commissioner Cupid. Instead, I'm here to learn more about zoning. So when I'm sitting with a client, I can sound a little smarter than the next agent, right? It's like, did you know that this zoning is happening right next door to you? So that led me to being appointed to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay.
Because of my involvement in civic engagement.
Okay.
And the commissioner at that time, she saw that I was engaged, and it was a perfect opportunity with my real estate background to be appointed to that board. So that's where I kind of had the inside into Cobb County from serving on that board. And then later conversations occur, and it's like, well, you should consider running for commissioner. And I'm like, I don't think so. I'm just not, that's not my cup of tea. It's really not. But the politics side of it might not be. But the serving side is why God has me here.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, I could just talk to her all day. Commissioner Sheffield, thank you for sharing your story and your heart for the community. Absolutely. Listening to your journey reminds me so much of why I created Be Bold Institute. They said my mother would never have children, but God had other plans. He gave me, her only child. Really? And my mother was handicapped, but she never let that stop her from pursuing her dreams. She never did. And she was a preacher, a teacher, a believer, and my biggest inspiration, Commissioner Sheffield. That's and when awesome. she passed, I felt lost. I felt like I was an orphan with no direction, but the pain, something powerful was born through the pain of losing my mom. And Be Bold Institute was created to honor her legacy, to empower others, and to chase their dreams, and no matter their fear, despite their fear, to chase their dreams, and no matter the obstacles. So as a little girl, I was selling chips and snacks on the school bus. So I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. And today, through Be Bold Institute, we help both children and adults turn their fear into faith and ideas into action. Believe. So Be Bold Institute. Be Bold is all caps. It's spelled all caps because it's an acronym. So we want you to believe, to empower, to build, to own, lead, and develop. And that's what it means to be bold. Also, believe every day by overcoming limiting doubts, because sometimes fear creeps in. So, Commissioner Sheffield, thank you so much for joining me today on Carol's Courageous Conversations. Your leadership, your authentic self, and your commitment to service, it inspires us all. It does. It truly does. And to everyone that's listening, thank you for tuning in. If today's episode encouraged you, please share it with a friend. And follow Carol's Courageous Conversations wherever you listen to podcasts. Oh, but before you go, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter at BeBold, 2 day.com. That is BeBold, 2 day.com, to get the latest episodes, leadership tips, and inspiration straight to your inbox. And join us at the Be Bold Pitch. Like I said, on November the 12th, we're having our Be Bold Pitch. And tickets are only $10, available at BeBold, 2 day.com. Come out and support our youth entrepreneurs. And remember, your story isn't over. It's just getting started. Stay bold, stay courageous, and until next time, have a positively beautiful day.
May I have a sip of my coffee now?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And this mug that she has is some of our merch at BeBoldInstituteToday.com. But before we go, I have goodies for you, Commissioner Sheffield.
Okay.
Here you go. So what we brought for Commissioner Sheffield is a Be Bold pen. That's for you. I know you do a lot of writing.
I do.
We have And all this you can get on our website at beboldtoday.com. And a little, just to put your little little papers and notebooks. So it's a little tote bag for you, Commissioner Sheffield.
Oh, thank you.
And last but not least, so you will remember our podcast.
I love it. I have a perfect place in my office for it. Oh, that's
all right.
awesome.
And you can
thank
have
you.
it back. So thank you so much.
Thank
Commissioner
you. The
Sheffield.
pleasure has been all mine. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time today.
Thank you. And you too, busy woman.
I'm never too busy.
Ooh, thank you. Have a positive, beautiful day.
And that wraps up episode 3 in our exclusive 3-part series with Commissioner Monique Sheffield, Cobb County Commissioner for District 4. Thank you so much for joining us for these courageous conversations. I hope you've been inspired to get involved, speak up, and be part of the change in your community. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. And also subscribe to our free newsletter at bebold2day.com. Mark your calendars for the Be Bold Tank Youth Entrepreneurship Pitch Competition happening on November the 12th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at bebold2day.com. General admission is $13 and VIP admission is $20, which includes dinner and a free gift. Registration is required to attend, so make sure you grab your seats early. Thank you again for tuning in. And remember, as always, be bold, be kind, and keep the conversation going. Have a positively beautiful day.
All right, thank you very much. So we have two investment opportunities for Jackson. We have Brittany at $10,000 for 5%. No, sorry. Oh, sorry. Jackson asked for $300,000 for 10%. Brittany offered $150,000 for 20%. Huh? Oh my gosh. Okay, so y'all know this. Y'all paying attention. Good job. Sam has offered $150,000 for 20% in your company. 25. Oh my